Welcome to Travel Talk, where our expert magical memory planners discuss ways you can have fun, memorable, and stress-free family vacations. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Travel Talk. I'm so excited about this episode because we are going to be talking about the Disney Treasure. We just got off the Treasure a couple weeks ago, and we just love this brand new Disney ship. It's a lot like the Disney Wish, but on this episode, we're going to talk about the things that make the Treasure different. There's some new spaces, some new dining, and we're going to talk about the staterooms and their decorations. And so we are so excited to share all of this with you. After we go over some of the new things about the Treasure, I also have two agents that recently got off the Treasure. They're going to share what they love about the ship, their experience, and what they just thought was so fun about it. So I'm so excited you could join us today. So we were on the Disney Treasure, and this ship is the sister ship of the Disney Wish. So if you listen to that podcast or you have been on the Wish, you will be familiar with the layout and some of the features of this ship because it is a sister ship, but it has some unique spaces as well. So just some facts for people who really like the facts about the ships and things like that. So there's 15 passenger decks on the Disney Treasure. It holds about 4,000 passengers, and it's approximately 144,000 gross tons. So for those that like that type of thing. But we're going to talk through today the new dining options, new lounges, the Oceaneers Club, some of the new stateroom themes, which was a new feature that they brought when they made the Wish, was to have staterooms that have different theming. And then some of their luxurious suites, and then some new entertainment on board, as well as itineraries. So one of the new places on board is Plaza de Coco. So there's really two new venues on board, but really Plaza de Coco is the really unique and new one. So this one takes the place of Arendelle. That's on the Disney Wish. And this is an amazing experience just walking in. You go through the entranceway and then you walk down the hallway and start to see all the artwork. And it's just an amazing experience. So you'll be in Plaza de Coco for 2 dinners during your sailing, and they will have 2 different shows. So the first night will be kind of a welcome to the family, to get to know everybody and enjoy your time together. And then the second night is going to have the theme of the Dia de Muertos. And so that's the day that you kind of go through all those traditional songs and the history and the celebrations and all the things that families would do on Dia de Muertos. And then you also have the opportunity, in addition to the 2 dinners at Coco's, if you are looking for a sit-down meal on embarkation day. So when you first board the ship, usually it's midday and you're looking for someplace for lunch. So you're welcome to go up to the pool deck and go to Marceline Market, grab some food up there at Festival of Foods as well. But if you're looking for a sit-down meal, a served meal, you can do that on embarkation day at Plaza de Coco. You don't need a reservation. Just walk down, make sure you know your stateroom number, which you'll use a lot on board, but usually when you first get on board, you're like, I don't know. Get your stateroom number and you can have a wonderful lunch there. But as you walk through Plaza de Coco and you head from the outdoor and the entrance all the way into the restaurant, you're going to walk through all this great artwork, beautiful things to see along the way. And the first thing you'll see as you enter the main part of the restaurant is this beautiful ofrenda. And this is, very similar to the movie, but also very accurate to the traditions of families and their celebration of Dia de Muertos. So this is a beautiful ofrenda. You can take some time to really look at it and all the photos that are on it. It's everything from the movie, very reminiscent of that. So really a great feature as you're walking into the restaurant. And then once you get inside, there's just going to be, it's like being outside in the square. So it's just an absolutely beautiful restaurant. There's live music. They brought in real mariachi players. I believe it's a trio of mariachi players, and they brought them in people that have studied mariachi music their whole life. So they're authentic. They're amazingly talented. They have dancers and singers as well as the characters from the movie. And of course, the food is so good. Some of our favorites in the appetizers, I absolutely love the guacamole, which I know sounds so standard, but it really was really good. Of course, there's chips and salsa when you get to the table to snack on. The enchiladas appetizer that we had was also very, very good. They had some traditional food as well if you're looking for like a steak, or there was prime rib, so just a basic beef dish if you're not looking for something with Mexican flair. And of course, the churros were super, super delicious as well. The other restaurant, which isn't exactly new, but it is a little bit different, is Worlds of Marvel. So there is a Worlds of Marvel on Wish. The Wish being 3 and 4 night sailings, you have one typical dinner, typically one dinner in World of Marvel. And if you're there a second night, it would be Pirate Night. But on the Treasure, you would be in the Worlds of Marvel for 2 dinners. And there are 2 different shows. So the first night that you're in Worlds of Marvel, it's going to be a similar show to what you would have seen on the Wish if you've traveled on that ship. Very interactive. It's like a cinematic show. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I won't give away the storyline. It's funny, it's entertaining. There are screens all around the restaurant, so you have a lot of really cool things to see and participate in. The second night is a little bit of a different experience. So on both nights, you're going to have this interactive quantum core that is on your table, and you're going to interact it with different ways on different nights. The second night, there's going to be almost like, I don't want to say a game show because that sounds a little hokey, but an interactive game and activity, and the quantum core is a key portion of that. So you'll have that right in the middle of the table, and you'll be able to participate in the game. This was, I want to say, one of my favorite menus, but I would probably say that every night. But it really was a delicious menu. I really enjoyed the food at Worlds of Marvel. They had some things that stood out to us was the chicken satay appetizer was absolutely outstanding, super delicious. I also got multiple entrees this night, as I typically do, but they had lamb, which was absolutely perfectly prepared. It was so delicious. And then I also got beef Wellington, which was also amazing. But I also want to make a special note of the salmon that they had with bok choy. That was also really, really good. We ended up sharing some food because it was really hard to narrow down to get, not to order too much food, but really, really delicious food here. Very different, very delicious. So now I'm going to transition. The third meal I'll say is 1923, which is the same as on the Wish. There's a Walt Disney side and a Roy Disney side. It'll be in your app which side you're on, which side your table is on. They do have some, once you're sailing, they have breakfast options there and lunch options there if you're looking for a sit down breakfast or lunch. But it's a similar experience to the Wish it's kind of like a living museum. So there's a lot of memorabilia in there. It's all actual memorabilia. It's not stuff that they made, stuff they took from the archives and brought on the ship. So it's really, really cool experience to eat in 1923 as well. And you'll have 2 dinners there as well. And then you'll have one restaurant you'll be in 3 times, and that will be your pirate night. So it'll have a pirate menu, not the traditional menu or show that you would experience the other nights. So now I'm going to transition over to the lounges. So there was some really cool lounges on this ship. We enjoyed the Scat Cat Lounge, lots of places to be, the Periscope Pub and whatnot. But the 2 that I want to talk about in the podcast is the Skipper's Society, which was super fun. This is in a central area on deck 3, and it is a beautiful space. They have music in there sometimes, and this is a great family-friendly space. And they had some really great drinks there that we really enjoyed. In addition to the great drinks, they had some great family-friendly drinks there as well. So some mocktails and cocktails and stuff like that. So Jungle Juice was a favorite, which is a non-alcoholic beverage, which you might be familiar with the park. Sometimes it's called Pog Juice, but it's served a little bit differently. And then they also had an iced tea that was really delicious, but just a fun place to hang out with the kids. They can get a snack or a drink. They have some waffles and snacks there as well. And then the parents can get a drink. And of course, because you're on a cruise ship, you can go over to dinner and bring it with you. So a really fun motif and restaurant there, or lounge, I should say, the Skipper Society. The other one that's gotten a lot of attention is the Haunted Mansion Parlor. So this is a really neat experience. It's a smaller space and it's a little bit harder to get into. It is family friendly, but it does go adult only after 10 p.m., I believe. But this is like, a new experience. It's not the Haunted Mansion that you have at the park. It's a similar type experience. So you go in there, and of course, it's a little bit spooky and dark. And so photos were really hard to get. Plus, it was really overly crowded in there. So it was hard to get photos. But the food is fun. The drinks are fun. And different experiences happen while you're in there. So definitely something to check out. So then we're going to transition over to the Oceaneers Club. So on the The Wish and the Treasure, they did this where they have a really cool entrance to the Oceaneers Club. So they have their main entrance, which is on deck 2. But on deck 3, which is really like where the Grand Hall is, that's where 1923 the restaurant is, there is a second entrance by slide. So you can check your kids in either on deck 2 at the main entrance or deck 3, and then send your kids down the slide right into the hand washing station and off into the kids club. So a super fun way to start their experience and a really fun kids club. So the Oceaneers Club is for ages 3 to 10. And they have areas for all different age groups. So, starting with the older kids, now they can go in different areas, but this appeals mostly to the older kids. You have the Superhero Academy, the Marvel Superhero Academy, where they have an Avengers experience. And then the Star Wars Cargo Bay. So, those areas have things that the kids can do independently, but there'll also be group activities happening in those areas that they can participate in. And then they also have the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab, which is really cool. And one of the most fun things they have there is this like roller coaster simulator. So the kids can design a roller coaster and then they go in the simulator and get to ride the roller coaster that they designed. So just a really unique and fun experience for them. And then for something that would appeal to the younger kids, there's Fairy Tale Hall. This is a bunch of different rooms. There's a Beauty and the Beast room, there's an Arendelle room, and this is where kids can play, do crafts, do coloring, do drawing, read a book, have like more of a restful time. And of course, they're going to do activities in there as well. And then there's like a Mickey and Minnie cruise themed area for the real little ones. They can climb and play in there. And that area can be closed off and added to the Small World nursery area where the children under 3 can use that space as well. The Small World nursery, just like all the other ships, is at an additional cost, and that's for children under the age of 3. And that's more of a supervised, well, they're all supervised, but for children under 3. And they have napping rooms. It's really really nice facility in there for the little ones. That's similar to the other ships. So I want to move on to staterooms because that is a big deal, and all different theming on the Treasure. So the Treasure has a sense of adventure, right? The Wish, the ship is kind of geared toward enchantment, but the Treasure is geared toward adventure. And so the themes of the staterooms follow along with that. So just to highlight a few key factors about the staterooms. So each of them have a theme, and they're kind of categorized by deck. With the theme of the room, you have some artwork in the room. The main focus of the theme is in the headboard. So that's going to be the main area where you'll see the theme. The linens, the bedding, the furniture, the bathrooms are all the same. But you have a headboard and then some artwork in the room that will be a little bit different. The other item that will be different is what we call the fish extender, which it's not really a fish anymore. It used to be fish and people would hang things on them and be in groups where they exchange items in the cruise. But now they've made that fish extender to be themed to match the themes of the rooms as well. So that is on the door on the outside of the room. And then the carpets. So the carpets on the floors are kind of organized so that it's a mashup of the themes that are on that floor. So let me explain a little further. So if you look at decks 2, 6, and 7, they all have the same carpet. The themes on those decks are either Aladdin or Pocahontas. So our room was Aladdin on deck 6. And so we had a headboard that looked like Agrabah, and it was really pretty. And then there's this, I don't even know what it's called. It's like this bug thing from the movie. And that is what would be on the fish extender outside the room. And then the carpet was dark blue tones and jewel tones. And there was that same bug in that carpet, as well as hidden Mickeys and feathers to be reminiscent of Pocahontas. And so everything it used to be the fish swim forward, but now it's the creatures or the objects all are going forward. So when you're walking in a hallway, if everything's going forward, if it's right side up and you're walking with it, you're heading forward in the ship. If you're walking aft or toward the back of the ship, everything will be upside down. So this is really helpful when you come out of your stateroom or you go into a hallway and you don't know if you're going toward the front of the ship or the back of the ship. You can kind of look at those markers on the floor and see if it's right side up, you're going forward. If it's upside down, you're going aft or toward the back of the ship. So those are the themes for decks 2, 6, and 7 is either Aladdin or Pocahontas, and then the fish extenders are, and the carpet is the same. Inside of the rooms would be different. So you can't tell from outside the room which room is on the inside. If you look on some of the other decks, if you go up to decks 8 and 9, those will be the themes of Encanto and Up. So the carpet is a mixture of those two things, the fish extenders, etc. And then if you go on to decks 10 and 11, those rooms are either Finding Nemo or Luca. And then if you're up on decks 12 and 13, that is the concierge deck. So all the concierge rooms are Lion King themed, with the exception of the funnel suite, which we're going to talk about in a second. But they're all Lion King themed. So that is what you'll find in concierge. Beautiful, beautiful rooms. So I also want to just mention the technology of the room and plugs, because that's always a big deal on cruises. So next to the bed, the main bed on either side, on the left side of the bed, you will just have like a European. On the right side, you will have like 2 standard plugs and a USB-C. And then on the main desk area, there's kind of like another little bank of plugs. There's USB-C and then, or USB-C, the oval one, and then 2 regular plugs and then another European plug. And I say all this to say, with Magic Band Plus having the regular USB plugs and the USB-C, the one with the oval, it makes it tricky to charge everything if you don't bring some adapters. So having something that would have multiple plugs would be really helpful. You need something that's going to be able to take the USB plugs from your Magic Bands to plug those all in, because they don't have that port on the ship. Okay. And then because you have these European ones, if you're not using those, but you have an adapter, that might be a great way to utilize that plug and have an adapter and then be able to plug all your Magic Bands into that. So just keep that in mind for plugs on this ship. You're going to want to bring some maybe multi-plug type things. So let's check out, I want to show you a little bit about the most luxurious suite on this ship, which is this in the tower, in the funnel, I should say. They used the funnel and made it into a 2-story suite, and it is the Concierge Tomorrow Tower Suite. So this is the only concierge room that doesn't have an Animal Kingdom theme. It's really themed after Epcot and the future. So the Tomorrow Tower Suite is absolutely amazing. It is on deck 14. It is the only thing on deck 14 because it's in the funnel. It has its own private elevator that you get on from deck 10. And then it takes you up to deck 14 into this little tiny lobby right outside your door. It is a beautiful suite with a huge lounge area. And the lounge area has a whole wall of windows, really like a 2-story wall of windows that just looks out over the ship because you're up in the funnel. So it has a big table that seats 8. It has like a kitchen, which not really for cooking, but think of it more like a butler's kitchen. So if you're having room service or anything prepared for you or hosting anything, you would have that space for them to prepare it in. And then like a bar area, it has a wine fridge. It's just beautiful lounge type area. And then when you go into the other rooms, this suite has 4 bedrooms. Okay. One is a bunk room that has like a set of bunk beds. The other 3 bedrooms are all basically like a master bedroom. So each of those other bedrooms has a king bed or a queen bed and then a full ensuite bathroom. So you have 3 rooms that have their own, single bed, and then the bunk room that has a set of bunk beds, as well as each of those rooms having its own bathroom. And then you actually have another half bath. So in total, it's 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, a living room, a dining room. It is 1,966 square feet and it sleeps 8. The bedroom on the first floor, there's 1 bedroom on the first floor. That one, they kind of call it the library. It has like a Murphy bed, and the bed can go up and you can use it as a living space, or you can pull it down and make it a bedroom. That bedroom's fully accessible because that is on the main floor. So the shower in there is accessible. There's ramps in and out of that room that make it easy to get in and out of in a wheelchair. So that first floor bedroom is accessible. The other 3 bedrooms are all on the second floor, which are only able to get through by stairs within the the suite itself. So those are on the second floor. And then that half bath is also on the first floor as well. So 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. Beautiful, beautiful suite. That brings us to entertainment. So when it comes to entertainment, this ship has it all. I mean, Disney Cruise Line is known for amazing entertainment and shows. So the main theater, Walt Disney Theater, is where you'll have your main stage shows. There's also 2 movie theaters on board that show first run movies that are happening right now in the movie theaters, as well as Funnel Vision, which is a huge screen out on the main deck where you can see, movies outside. So this ship has multiple shows. It has Seize the Day, which is a show that we've seen on some of the other ships as well. But the really amazing show on this ship is The Tale of Moana. And that Moana show is unbelievable. It is the first time Moana has been brought to the stage. It is all Pacific Islander cast. It is true to the story, it's true to the movie. I mean, if you loved the movie, you're gonna love, love, love the show. So, so good. And then they also have the Beauty and the Beast show. So just great entertainment. You won't want to miss the shows in the evening. They time it with dinner, so you'll either do a show and then dinner if you have second seating, or you'll do dinner first if you have first seating, and then your show after. Plenty of time, so it's fantastic. So do not miss the shows. And little tip, the shows will be on the TV in the room. So if you have a little one that doesn't make it through the show, or they loved it so much and they want to see it again, you can watch them on the TVs in the room after they air on the ship. So great, great experience for the entertainment. So let's just talk a little bit about the itineraries of the Treasure. So they will be sailing out of Port Canaveral for 7 nights. Of course, this could change down the line, but this will be its itinerary for quite a while, I think. So we have Port Canaveral, 7 nights, rotating between Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries, and most of them should include Castaway Cay as one of their stops. So those are very, very popular sailings. And in the fall, you'll see Halloween on the High Seas sailings. In the winter, you'll see the Very Maritime sailings. So great way to celebrate if you're looking for a special sailing in the fall or a holiday sailing. Such a great way to celebrate on board with your family and friends. And you don't have to do all the work because they prepare all the food and do all the decorating and put it all together for you. So super fun. So the next thing I want to do is just share with you a little bit from some of the agents that have been on the Disney Treasure. We're going to hear from Bethany first. So take it away, Bethany.
Hey, Bethany Musselwhite, a magical memory planner from East Tennessee. I had the privilege of being able to do the preview cruise on Disney's new treasure ship. It was amazing, trip of a lifetime for sure. Disney cruises are so fun. The theming is wonderful. The shows on the Treasure were excellent. The dining was great. I enjoyed Coco. I enjoyed the Moana show. Everything was just excellent. Probably the thing that stands out the most to me on a Disney cruise is just the level of service. Your servers go with you to dinner each night, which just makes for a very, very personal experience. And everybody is just so happy that you're there and that you're cruising on Disney. And they're so proud of the ship, as they should be. But it's just a great experience. And I loved everything about it. Room service was great. Having Mickey bars delivered to your room anytime you want is, of course, always great. But you just feel like royalty when you're on a Disney cruise. Everybody just goes out of their way to make sure that you have the most magical time. And we really did have the most magical trip. It was just amazing. A Disney cruise just beats any cruise, hands down.
Thanks, Bethany. That was awesome. And so then I also want to share with you a little bit from another agent. So take it away, Tanya.
Hello, my name is Tanya Dixon. I'm a travel advisor with Magical Memory Planners. I had the honor of attending the preview sailing of the new Disney ship, the Treasure. It was amazing, and I was blown away by the ship, by the details. The entertainment on board was spectacular. The food was delicious. I think my favorite thing of the food, or the favorite restaurant that we attended, was Coco. It was really fun, really entertaining, delicious food. And the Moana show, amazing. It was so good, and it's a must watch. So if you go on the Treasure, make sure you catch the Moana show. It will blow you away. It's really good. So I don't think you cannot go wrong with the Disney Cruise Line, especially all the things that are actually included, even sodas. I am a Coke girl, so that was really nice to be able to have my Coke on board, with no additional cost. So I will say you would have an incredible time. If you love the Disney parks, you will love the Disney cruise. So make sure that you make time to take your family on a Disney cruise. You will love it. Your family will have a great time. And there's a lot to do for everybody, from the youngest to the oldest. The kids clubs were amazing. I am excited to take my son and let him enjoy the kids clubs. So if you take your family, I'm sure you guys will have an amazing time. So let us know when you're ready, and we'll be here to help you and walk you through all of the things in every step, to make sure you have an amazing vacation.
Thanks, Tanya. That was great. So if you love the Disney parks, we think you will just love a Disney cruise, especially the Disney Treasure. It has so much of the magic and the experiences that you have on a Disney vacation, but it is so much more relaxing. Being out on the water and having a little bit of a slower start in the morning, and still having all the character interactions, the Disney magic, the amazing service, the excellent food, and shows. It's just the best of both worlds. So we hope that you are thinking about a Disney Treasure vacation, and if you are looking for more help, we'd love to help you.